Okay, chapter 3, maintenance and upkeep. I just let them out, so they're happy over here. Brand new water. So this is your opportunity to make sure you check things around, make sure they're healthy, make sure there's nothing untoward happening. They've got their feed here. Brand new water. Mama Kitty, you gonna come help me around? So let's get started. These videos, 20 minutes long, it takes so long to upload on YouTube. You coming to get some food? Come on, you can do it. There you go. So like I mentioned before, I'm on demand. Not a 1 time, 2 times a day. They can eat as much as they want. And I think that works for me better, because I am absent many hours of the day at work. They can come in, do their thing. Like I said, so I wanted you to see how clean this water is and compare it to water I gave them last night after they went to bed. It's about noon right now. So get this hose over here. So it's basically feeding, cleaning things around, coops, inspecting, making sure everything is here, everybody's accounted for. If you look here, look at all these feathers. It's almost like a crime scene. Look at all the feathers in the coop. Same thing, they are going through a molt. You'd think some animal got to them and killed something. That is not the case. So let's start cleaning things around. I might have to put things in pause. Feathers in the back there again. So the reason I have it on these lifters, like I mentioned before, is ducks make a huge mess. If there's water on the ground, they'll dig holes. This way, these are just old bread crates. What will happen is the water goes on the bottom, then it sinks in the ground. Obviously, I'm washing it now, just rinsing it off. So they're not here, they're outside. So by the time they get back here, it'll be all clean. Really quickly, as you can see, I'll probably have to put it on pause for a second, take this apart, doing it one-handed. All right, so it's cleaned, filled, everything's ready. Go to the next one. Oh, a little presents here from the ducks. All right. Now these buckets, I change their water at least twice a day. Brand new water. So I want you to have a look. That was brand new water at nighttime, so 9 o'clock. They were already in the coops. There's a huge difference between dirty, filthy water and muddy water. Ducks will gather pebbles, all kinds of mud, issues, and bring it in here. So all I have to do now is dump it and give them some fresh water. And since they're outside on the lawn, they won't be coming in here that often. And I give those buckets a good scrub. Once a week, they get scrubbed down really well. This is right beside their on-demand oyster shell. Then we have grit on the other side and crushed eggshells. They definitely go for the eggshells before anything else. Let's do the second bucket. Looks like they got much more out of this guy than the first guy. Rinse it out. So you can see it doesn't take that long. Rinse it. Switch hands here again. Rinse. Okay. All right. will go to the pond. I'm not gonna change the coop yet. It's not that time. I usually change the litter in the coop, depending how dirty it is, every 2 weeks. Now we come to the pond. It's time. Switch it out, clean it out every 2 to 3 days, maximum 3 days. So let's get all the poop. And they love spending time. Obviously they're ducks, so they love spending time here. Rinse that off, and hopefully I'll get all this in one take. All right, get this. There we go. Once again, if it gets really dirty, I'll get the power washer in here. The pond is becoming a little algae on the wall, so it's time to power wash it. I'm not gonna do that today though. It's still not that bad. This is my, I guess, backsplash in the winter, so they have a cover from wind. So now, let's see. Oh, of course the hose is gonna go on. Now let's get the pump and empty this out. Get my pump right here. It's a little giant pump. I've had this probably for 30 years. So you buy a good quality product, it will last you. So let's see. Get this over here. Slip connectors instead of attaching hoses, doing things wrong way. Let's see. I may have to pause this, but you can see my connectors here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pause it for a second. Okay, pump is in. All we gotta do is plug it in. Got my little waterproof box. No power outages. Looking good. And there you go. Ducks will hear the water, they'll come on running to dig over there. So, it takes just, there's the first one. They're running. Wah, 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 wah. That's the little kiddie pond over there. That also needs to be changed. So it takes over just over a minute to empty it. 150 gallons. Again, for convenience, I chose this size because I want to routinely and regularly clean it out. I was looking at a 300 gallon. It's too hard on my back. This is not meant for them to have a pond swim laps. This is just for them to clean off, relax, whatever they need to do. So I'm going to pause it again for just a second while we go down to the bottom. Well, here you go, empty. See all that poop and the algae on the sides. Maybe I will use the power washer, clean that nicely today. So all I have to do now is pull it out. Initially I had the feeders. Come on. Of course it's not going to want to cooperate. Initially I had the feeders really close. They were here. I had 10 times the amount of debris in there because the ducks would come in and back flush and backwash all their feed, and it used to be getting nasty. So let's get this pump out of the way. You're not coming in, Mama Kitty? Huh? Come on, you can do it. Okay, so this is where it's nice and easy. All I have to do is pull it out. I call it poop soup. All I have to do is dump it. And now the rinse. And that's it. So it really doesn't take a lot of time. You just have to be consistent. You cannot let things go. You cannot think, oh, I'll skip a day or two. You can't do that. You will be hurting. If you skip days on maintenance, it's going to cost you in the long run. That looks good enough to me. And then just rinse here. I really don't like rinsing it into the hole. At one time I had an outbreak of some really bad fungus. Obviously you have all this nitrates, nitrites, all that stuff going in there. So the entire hole was covered. It was like snow in there. And I used to use a torch to burn it out. I used all kinds of bleach, didn't work. Finally, a solution of water and Pine Sol. When they claim it's 99.9% effective on germs and bacteria, they are correct. It finally took care of the problem. So, as we wait on that tank, whether to power wash it or not, here's another little tank here. And they love, and this is their ramp to their house. And I just put it up here since those edges are so flimsy. I made those legs so they can go in. They just absolutely love it. One thing I've learned is I thought, oh, I'll put it in the shade for them so they're nice out of the sun. Big mistake. If I put this pond in the shade, it grows algae and goes messy immediately. Something with the UV rays from the sun. This is day 2. You can see some feathers and all that, but I clean it, empty it, and move it around the yard every 2 days. The ducks are pretty smart. Once it's dirty, they just don't like dirty water. They won't go in. The moment I put fresh water in there, they go crazy. So that's another thing I've learned. You offer them clean versus dirty, they'll go for clean any day. Get that off. Next thing I go, if you see the entire backyard here, and I'll do a panoramic scoop. Believe it or not, I haven't fertilized or mowed this lawn in 3 years. I do mow it. The only reason I would mow it is to level things out, just to make it straight and even. Because they eat so much grass, because they're always here, I don't want any pesticides, weed and feed, or anything like that. There are a couple of spots that I have crabgrass and some weeds, but that's the sacrifice you take. Next thing I do is check on my health of my animals and go around and what I called poop dissolving. So I like doing that because A, it doesn't leave all these pancakes, and B, see that? You just hit it and it goes away. I can gauge the health of the animals by their poop. So look at that, around the bucket, see these little pancakes? Just hit them, it dissolves. Duck poop is almost water, so it dissolves really easily. The chicken poop, sometimes you have to stomp on it. These buckets, I have 3 buckets around the yard. I move them every single day. Otherwise, I would have nothing but poop everywhere. So this is just within the last hour, and this is how much they poop. They go from bucket to bucket. They just constantly wander around. If I left the bucket in one spot, this is where the bucket was yesterday. It's as easy as that. So I will walk around the entire yard and dissolve their poop, but it is not necessary the entire yard. The majority of the poop is located around the water buckets and their feeder. So the entire thing, this is what takes the majority of time. The entire maintenance, probably about an hour. So you gotta count about an hour a day to do this. This is where, come on Mama Kitty. This is where I have my grays, the Muscovy ducks. This is where they come to feed. When I first got those ducks, they were really neglected, sick, and you could have seen their poop. Their poop was completely different. There was like fizzy. It didn't look normal. It looked yellow. They were really, really sick. Now they're just like the other guys. So see, they're not scared. They're just sitting there. So maintenance, again, it is your opportunity to count the heads, make sure everybody's walking fine, nobody's stumbling, nobody's limping, everybody's here. See that? Maybe you don't see it, but there's a ton right here because they spend a lot of time under this pine tree eating or resting. So there's significantly more poop over here. If I didn't do it daily, sometimes I skip a day because of work issues and it dries up, little pancakes, so you have to hit it twice. You hit it once, it soaks up the water, then you hit it a second time for it to dissolve. So that's on the maintenance. On a different note, I will post the clean out, the coop clean out, how fast that is. You can just roll the hay out of there, clean the walls, spray it down with pine sol, scrub the poop out, and you're done. So let's stop for now. Oh, there's the cat drinking out of their pond. Everybody likes fresh water. I got all these cats. They go in there. I might add the before. You saw the before and after when I power wash that pond. It's going to be amazing.